today's video, I wanted to share with you guys the answer to some business related questions that I had you guys ask me a long time ago on my Instagram. I had posted on my story for you guys to ask me anything that was related to any of our businesses or just starting a business in general, things related to YouTube, finances, budgeting, all that kind of stuff. So I have a bunch of questions here on my phone. So let's just jump right into it. We'll see how far we can get, and then depending on how many questions I get through, maybe we'll do a part 2 and then allow you guys to ask me more questions in the comments down below. So while I'm talking, if you have questions that pop up, feel free to ask them below, and I'll start jotting some of them down for future videos like this. We'll see if you guys like it, and I could maybe make this into a little series. So here we go. First question is the process of starting a business. I have so many ideas, but I don't know where to start. So I feel like one of the main businesses that we started that seems like it just dropped out of thin air was our physician recruiting business. We started it back in 2007. And literally we just were researching different ideas online of businesses that I felt like could pertain to both Ken and I's experience and interests. And we had myself with a medical background and Ken with a business / sales management background. And we wanted to start an at-home business that didn't require like a lot of upfront money. And we learned about recruiting, and we just taught ourselves the process. But how we went about starting that business was I kind of just grabbed a notebook and kind of made like an outline, and I created space in between all the different kind of like areas, like registering a business name, getting a tax ID, opening a bank account, and just left room so I could make notes as time went on. And honestly, we barely even put like that many even days worth of thought of, it wasn't really like, I take that back. We thought a lot about what to do and how to go about doing it, but it wasn't like we spent a lot of time deciding if we wanted to do it. We were just like, yeah, let's do it. This sounds great. And so I want to say we probably had maybe 10, 12 pages of the notebook filled with like just resources that we could use to start the business, and how we were going to go about like recruiting physicians, what program we were going to use, like just on and on and on. So I think if you have like a bunch of business ideas, first of all, you need to decide what idea you think was going to be a good idea, one that you actually want to implement past the stage of just thinking about it, and then just start writing down all the steps that you need to take to get the business going. And if at any point in that process you feel like, oh, I don't know if I really want to do this, really think long and hard about whether you want to do it, because the easy part is in the beginning. Sorry about the dogs playing in the background. The easy part's in the beginning. And so once you start working hard at it, and then having to get clients or whatever type of business you have, that's when the hard part starts. And if you're not like 100% on board, like you're only doing it because you think you're going to make a ton of money, or you just want to start your own business because you don't want to work for someone anymore, like it needs to be something that you're passionate about and you want to prove to yourself and everybody else that you can, like, I'm going to make this happen, no matter what it is, no matter if it's something really small business that you're going to do on your own, or a company that you're going to turn into like a large corporation. You really, really, really have to love it. Okay, this question is, does YouTube pay you based on the number of views you get, like 1 cent per view? There's so many factors that fall into answering this question. First of all, if you see a video that has like 50,000 views on it, you don't have ads on all 50,000 views. So you can't say, even if someone has a video and it has 1 million views, you can't look at it and say, oh, they got paid for 1 million views, because YouTube doesn't put ads on 100% of your views. There could be some videos that 50% of your views for the month have ads, or maybe it's 80% of your views for the month have ads. And then on top of that, you have a pay rate, you have a RPM and you have a CPM, And it also is based on so many different factors other than just views. Watch time is a huge factor. If somebody clicks on your video and only watches it for 2 minutes, which means they've only seen like one ad, you're gonna get less money for that view than you are someone who watches your whole 15-minute video that maybe had 4 ads. So there's really not like a flat answer to that question, but hopefully that better explained it. Okay. This person wants to know, what exactly is a recruiting business and what does it mean? Have you ever heard of the term headhunter? Basically, that's what a recruiter is. You are a person, I painted my nails, by the way, so if I'm acting a little weird, that's why. Recruiter is a person who helps organizations, businesses find employees. So if you've ever heard of the term headhunter, it's somebody who's going out and searching for the right man or woman for the job. So physician recruiting, just like it sounds, you're recruiting physicians. So when I worked with Ken, we together, and now it's just him on his own, even though I'm like part owner of the business, we together would recruit physicians for hospitals, for doctors' offices, big and small. Some could be just a small little self-owned, physician-owned practice, all the way up into a hospital or a university that has doctors, like a medical teaching hospital, that sort of thing. So you have contracts, and physician recruiting has 2 different types of contracts. You have retained recruiting, is where you sign a contract, usually for like 6 months or a year, sometimes more if you're lucky, where they say, we're going to pay you this amount of money per month, and you're going to fill all of our open doctor positions. And maybe they have 10 openings, maybe it's family medicine, cardiology, orthopedic surgeon. You're recruiting for all those, you're representing the hospital, you're recruiting for all those open positions, and you get paid the same every month, and then usually there's a little bonus involved if you place a doctor, but like a way smaller amount bonus. Now, contingent recruiting, which is what we do majority of the time, is you only get paid, you have a contract, so you again are representing that hospital or organization, but you only get paid when you place a physician, when the physician takes a job, signs a contract with that hospital, and becomes a full-time employee, then you get paid a larger amount of money. So retained is definitely more of the financially secure way to run a recruiting business, especially if you have employees. But contingent, if you're good at recruiting, you can make a lot more money. So hopefully that explains it. All right, how to save money while you're in college. I didn't go away to college. I went to college and lived at home. And I also worked for a hospital that offered tuition reimbursement up to like 50% if you continued to work for the hospital while you were in college. And then even Andrew lived at home and went to college, and he got a scholarship, so college for him was super cheap. It was literally, the university, I want to say, is like $10,000 to $12,000 a year for tuition per semester, but he got a scholarship that made his college tuition only $3,000 a semester. So Andrew paid $1,000, I paid $1,000, and his father paid $1,000. So it was super affordable. He had no debt when he graduated from college, and it was amazing. That doesn't really answer the question, but I just wanted to say I don't really have experience with how to save money in college, other than I think when you are away at college and you're working a job, maybe you are the lifeguard for the pool at the college. I heard it pays really, really well. Or maybe you're working at Subway down the street from the college. I think it's more about survival mode. You basically are working just so you can survive. You're working to have some money to maybe go out to dinner with friends on the weekend, or have, extra snacks in your dorm room. I don't really think you should concentrate so much on like, well, I want to be able to save money while I'm in college, so when I graduate I have this huge savings. I think you need to focus first on your grades, have a good time while you're in college, make friends, party, do whatever you want to do while you're away at college, but get your degree, graduate, and worry about the whole like saving money and planning for your future once you graduate. So well, that's just my opinion on how I think I would do it if I would have went away to college. Next question. What made you want to start Ivy and Saige and YouTube? Okay, we'll start with YouTube. First of all, when I started YouTube, and I've told this story in other videos before, so I won't get too detailed. When I started YouTube, it was for a hobby. I used to watch the Shaytards religiously back when they used to post videos all the time, and I was like, this looks like so much fun. The kids are having such a fun time with their parents. They're doing cool things. Like, I want to be able to do that with my kids. I want us to spend more time together, and this would be so much fun. So I made over 100 videos on YouTube before I ever even made a penny. So I started it not with the intention to ever make a career out of it, ever make money, anything. It just kind of started happening, and then it was like, oh my God, like I can't believe we're actually gonna make money off of this. I can quit working for Ken and just like do my own thing. So I feel really grateful for that. For Ivy and Saige, back when I started it, I really started it with the intention of that it was gonna be something fun for Carly and I to do together. She loves clothes and that kind of stuff even more than I do. So I was like, this is perfect. We'll have this thing to bond over. We'll pick out all the stuff for the store. She'll try it on. We'll take pictures, etc., etc. And her level of interest went from like 10 to 0 faster than I could blink. It was like, oh yeah, let's do it. Sounds fun. And then it turned into, I would send her like clothes. Do you like this? Do you like that? She didn't really like anything I picked out. That became a big chore. Then I would get the clothes. She didn't even want to try the stuff on and do pictures. So then I was hiring people to take pictures or, you know, to be the models. And it just didn't really turn out to be the type of business that I thought it was going to be. And you guys know, if you follow along, I kind of quit that business because I felt like between YouTube and Ivy and Saige, I was working all the time, and my kids are all on their way of moving out. Carly going away to college is what she wants to do. Like, I didn't want to be like regretting the fact that I was just putting so much time and energy into all these different businesses just so I could have money, and like I'm not enjoying my life. I'm not enjoying my time with my kids at home before they move on to the next stage of life. So that's why I kind of shut things down, thinking maybe someday I'll go back to it, maybe I won't, maybe I'll start something new. And anyways, that's why I started those businesses. All right. How much do you guys make on YouTube? Just curious if it's worth it for me to have a YouTube dream. I don't think anyone who is listening to this video right now should necessarily start YouTube solely based off the idea that you're gonna get rich off YouTube. I think you need to start YouTube because you have a passion for making videos, or you have something that you feel you want to share with the world, whether it be a talent, an art, maybe you're a good speaker, maybe you have knowledge on a topic that you're passionate about and you just want to be able to like speak about. I think if you started YouTube thinking, oh, I'm gonna post, 3 videos a week, I'm gonna work hard at it for a year, and at the end of that year I'm gonna be able to quit my job and blah blah blah, I think that's pretty scary. I think you really need to start it out for fun and do it while you're still moving forward with whatever else is going on in your life. And maybe you'll get lucky, because that's how I feel. I feel like we literally got lucky. I could talk about YouTube stuff forever. So if you guys have more questions pertaining to that, leave them down below. We can talk about this more. All right, how do you guys budget your money? I don't necessarily have like, oh, we have $500 a month towards groceries, and once that's gone, it's gone. I feel like, I'm almost 49. I've been a mom for 25 years. I pretty much know what we're gonna spend. All of our bills are pretty set in stone. Car payment, actually we don't have any car payments. I have a car lease, that's it. Our mortgage, cell phone, internet, gas, electric, groceries is obviously, a little like this, going out to eat, stuff like that. Most months, regardless of what's going on, we spend about the same. So there's really, budget isn't really necessary. I'm not out like spending hundreds of dollars on clothes all the time. I feel like I could have been better at budgeting when I was in my 20s, and I should have worried about it more back then than I need to do now. Like, I don't really need to do that now. So let's pretend I'm back in my 20s. If I could go back and tell my 20-year-old self what to do, I would really focus on saving money first and spending only what I have and not using credit cards. We got into credit card debt before that I regret. I wish I would have just like, saved whatever our income was, X amount of dollars to savings, X amount of dollars into a vacation fund, because vacationing is something that's always been an important part of our budget, if that's what you want to call it. And then X amount of dollars is left over. So if I wanted to get a new computer or a new pair of shoes or a purse or go clothes shopping for the kids, I knew this is the only amount of money that's left over. Not, oh, no big deal, let's put it on the credit card, we'll pay it next month. Well, you get yourself in trouble with that, because then the bill comes and you're like, holy crap, it's $800. I don't have an extra $800 this month because I had to take the kids to the dentist, and that was $1,500. And you know what I mean? That's how you get yourself in trouble. So I wish I would have been better, but I wish I would have known to listen, don't use credit cards. But I feel like anybody that you talk to, we all kind of had to go through that in life and experience that. But if I could teach any of you anything about finances and money, don't use credit cards. Learn early on in life, when you're in your 20s, when you first get married, when you're out there buying furniture. Don't do 12 months same as cash and have to make payments on furniture. Don't buy the furniture until you have the money to buy the furniture. Save for it. I don't care if you have to sit on the floor or only hang out in your bedroom because you only have a mattress to sit on or lay on. You don't have a couch. Save your money when you get paid and buy the couch when you have the money. That's how I would budget. Okay. Do you hire anyone to help you manage your YouTube business or finances? No, for the most part. Right now, we have a financial advisor that we've been using for, maybe 5 or 6 years, and he helps us with investments, like IRAs, our retirement. We put money into many different areas for like our future, for like when all the kids are gone, there's no more YouTube, there's no more nothing unless I want to like be a greeter at Walmart or something like that. I'm talking retirement age, because Ken and I were not at jobs. We're not working at like Ford, where you have an amazing 401k package that you're paying into, your employer's paying into. So when you retire at say 65, you're getting $3,000-4,000 a month from your pension, from your retirement, because you paid into it while you worked there for 30 years. So because we're self-employed, we have to be responsible enough to do that with our own money. And it's changed through the years. There's been years where we've put, a ton of money away every month. And then there's years where we've dropped down, okay, things are kind of slow with recruiting, whatever, let's dip down a little bit lower. So we did that for a while, and then we raised it back up because, I don't know, it seems like as the kids are getting older and, like we're not buying as much for them, they're paying for their own clothes, things like that, like we're having a little bit more extra money. So now we can raise it back up. We just want to make sure that we're in a good situation when we do go to retire, that we have enough money to make ends meet. I'm not looking to like travel the world and be rich, but I want to be comfortable. So we have to prepare and make sure we do that for ourselves. I got off topic. So yes, we have a financial advisor, but we really only talk with them maybe 2-3 times a year at most. YouTube, I've never hired anybody for anything. I do it all myself. Brand deals, contracts. I handle all sponsorships and that for Our Family Nest, and I'm kind of like Carly's manager. I handle her emails, and I do charge her a fee, just like if she was working with a management company. If she gets a contract for a brand, I'm going to charge her. It's very small, it's very minimal, but I'm charging her a percentage fee because I'm doing all of her contracting, emailing, all that good stuff. She does all the filming and editing and stuff herself, so she gets the majority of the money, but that's how we do that. Physician recruiting. So I used to work for Ken, then I quit. He had someone working with him for a short period of time, maybe a year and a half to 2 years. She used to come to our house. This was at the old house, and we did that for a while. We stopped doing that. He has other recruiters and people that he can talk to, but there's like work together, but there's nobody on our payroll. I guess that answers your question. So manage YouTube, business, finances. No, we don't have anybody on payroll. Well, other than our children, because we do pay them. Like Chase, for example, he's not in a lot of Our Family Nest videos. So I keep track of, for the month, how many videos he's in, and he gets paid based off that. Same for Carly, same thing for her, but then she also gets the money from her channel, minus the taxes, because her YouTube channel money still goes to me right now until she's 18. Chase gets his own because he is 18. And so I have to take taxes out of hers. She gets all of her money from her YouTube channel. Same thing with brand deals. Taxes paid first, my small percentage, and she gets the rest. And she's so good at managing her money. There are months when she's getting a lot of money, more than back when she tried to work at the restaurant job. And she's really good with only putting like $300, maybe $400 in her checking. So she has like $100 or so a week for gas, eating out, that sort of thing, and she puts the rest of it in her savings. And even though she paid for a portion of her car when we bought it for her, she still is building up her savings, and she's going to have a nice amount of money when she decides to go away to college or whatever is in her future. All right, how long have we been recording? Oh, pretty long. What? Holy moly. All right, this will be my last question then. If you guys are not in the medical field, how did you start a physician recruiting company? So I kind of touched on this briefly at the beginning. Basically, I was the one that had all of the medical experience because I worked in doctor's offices. I did medical billing for years. I managed a physician's office for years. Plus, I was a nursing school dropout. I had 1 year left of nursing school and dropped out. One of my biggest regrets in life, even though today I wouldn't want to be a nurse, I wish I still would have just finished college. So I have that background. Ken had the sales background. If you know anybody who's in sales, a good salesman could sell anything. A good salesman could sell this plant. A good salesman could sell this chair. It wouldn't matter what Ken was selling. He's just good at being a sales guy, if that makes sense. So he was the voice and the face behind the business. I was behind the scenes. I don't like talking to like doctors on the phone. I've never interviewed or had a conversation with a doctor on the phone ever. That's so intimidating to me. I don't know why. It's just the way I am. Even now at my point in life, I'd be like, I'm not talking to that doctor. You talk to him, kind of thing. But yeah, that's how we started it. Ken would just come to me and say, what's a cardiologist? What do they do? What's a gastroenterologist? What do they do? What kind of practice do they work for? What's a podiatrist? He didn't know what any of those words meant. He would just say, hey, this hospital needs a cardiologist, but they need someone that knows how to do cardiac caths. What does that mean? And I would have that knowledge and I would explain it to him. So it was kind of cool that like together we were able to create a successful business with very little experience. Truthfully, we probably had no idea what we were doing in the beginning. The first placement that we ever made wasn't even a doctor. It was a, what was it? I'm drawing a blank. It was somebody that worked at an eye place. There were doctors there, but it was somebody that I wish I could remember. I'd have to ask Ken to see if he remembers. So it wasn't like our normal like fee that we would get for placing a doctor. It was a smaller amount, but it was still like, oh my God. And we made our first placement within 3 months, which is what amazing. So, and I want to say maybe then we placed a doctor after that, maybe like another 3 months. So we made money even our first year that we were in business, which I feel like I would love to talk to other physician recruiters who started their own business from scratch with like a database of 0 doctors and literally just worked from 0. And I wonder how many physicians we have in our database now. I want to say 60,000, something like that. And majority of them are all doctors that are looking for jobs in the Midwest. It's insane. But we've been in business since 2007, so to be expected. So anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this video. I did not intend for it to be this long. If you listened all the way to the end, bless your heart for caring even what words come out of my mouth. I could talk about stuff like this forever and ever and ever. I love when you guys ask us questions and we can just share. I say we, but me, I can share my knowledge and experience, and I don't know, I just love helping and inspiring people to make your dreams come true, whatever that may look like for you. So if you have other questions for me, comment down below. I still have, let's see, oh my, I still have a lot of questions. I think I only got about halfway through the good questions that I took a screenshot of. So maybe we should do a part 2 to this. Comment down below and let me know if you guys want me to continue this conversation. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.